Right, to discuss further, we're joined by the Director General for Basic Education, Hubert Mathanzima Mweli. Thank you for being with us, Mr. Mweli, on a Saturday evening. Can you explain this further? So what if there's load shedding at 8 o'clock? The exam starts at 8 o'clock and Eskom says that cannot be avoided. Does it start later? How does it work on that day?
Well, we were able to demonstrate how to do that on the 25th and 26th. When the first group of the class of 2022...
Yeah. Because there have been two exams, but yes, not a huge cohort. It was computers and...
That was practical. Yeah. That's the highest on our list of priorities in terms of risk, because it 100% depends on power. If you don't have electricity, you won't be able to write. Yes. But what then happened is that if load shedding was going to start at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, instead of starting to write at 9, schools were allowed to start at 8. So that come the time for load shedding, by 11:30, all schools had finished writing.
And are you confident that the communication system works, that there won't be a child who isn't made aware, the phone isn't working and they don't know they have to come to school earlier? What if that happens?
Well, last week it worked, although you're saying it was a small group, which I agree, but that's the group that entirely depends on power 100%. Going forward, that 100% dependence is no longer there, it's behind us.
Okay, yes. So now it'll be written exams.
Normal written exams.
Everybody will survive.
They should survive.
Yeah. I mean, unions at one stage were calling for schools to be exempt even. So that isn't necessary now. It sounds like it's not necessary. I don't know if it was even possible.
We tried. We had meetings with the Eskom leadership. They were very sympathetic to us. But they indicated that it depends on the pressure on the grid on a particular day. And they indicated that they could try and do their best to make sure that schools that 100% depend on energy or electricity should be exempted. But if the grid doesn't allow, unfortunately, they wouldn't be able to do it.
Do you think that's why they gave everybody a break this past week, perhaps? Was there a real effort?
I was actually surprised.
Yeah.
We needed that on the 25th and 26th. But as they told us, it depends on the pressure on that particular day. If the day doesn't allow, even if they would try and do it, the risk would be even much higher.
Yeah. All right, so at least, like you say, you've gotten through the ones that were really dependent on power. Do you feel ready? Does this feel like, you know, it's a well-oiled machine? More than 900,000 pupils. We're heading to 1 million?
This is the biggest ever since 2016. Our biggest full-time candidate was 799, which wrote.
Yeah, this is much bigger, sure.
This one, it's slightly less than that, which is 753 full-time candidates.
Okay, full-time.
Plus part-time candidates, it's 167,000. It's, of course, close to 900,000. But we've had a bigger group, by the way, in 2020, over 1 million, where we combined 3 types of exams to write at the same time. The group that was supposed to write May, June, wrote in November, December. So that was the biggest group under extremely difficult conditions. But we made it. We've got a team of extremely experienced individuals, both at school, at district level, at provincial and national level.
Am I right to say that was the year there was a leak from the printers, but it sounds like there's no concern about security this year?
Absolutely, indeed. That was the year where we had paper leaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the year.
But you're feeling fine. No worries about leaks. Everything has been tightened.
Well, we took the nation through what we did in terms of our preparation this morning. We looked at a number of risks, and fortunately this time we worked closely with the intelligence community to help us even audit our systems, to pick up areas of weaknesses and plug on those weaknesses. We met with our stakeholders and we're very open to them and said, this is what we have done. Do you think we've exhausted all the possible risks? In every engagement that we had with our stakeholders, all of them said unanimously, we don't think of any other risk that you need to consider.
Finally, there's concern about this group of matriculants. We've had the worst year of load shedding on record ever, and they were the ones really impacted by COVID-19, still coming through the system. What's your advice to the kids really stressed right now?
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is the hardest hit class that we've ever had in the system. 2020, when they were in grade 10, and 2021, when they were in grade 11. They were, they experienced disruptions from COVID. And load shedding did not start in 2022 with interrupting, their teaching and learning. Load shedding didn't start this year. It started much earlier. But I'm impressed with the level of resilience. We've crisscrossed the country, the minister, deputy minister, and myself. We've spoken to them, but I was amazed with the level of confidence, the resilience that they've already demonstrated so far. So I have no doubt in my mind that the class of 2022 is again going to make us proud.
All right, well, thank you for being with us tonight, and hopefully that is the case, and good luck to everybody out there. Thank you, Director General for Basic Education, Hubert Mathanzima Mweli.